Netflix did. And Netflix did so well because they just poured money hand over fist into original content.
Right.
They were in the red for years producing content.
Right.
Just to get it out there and get subscribers in. So you had technology explode, and the industry's trying to catch up to it now. You're also dealing with the industry at a very fragile state now. Your ticket sales, your box office ticket sales are about 50% what they were pre-pandemic. You've got streaming services that are hemorrhaging money to the point that they're pulling back on projects now because they can't afford to keep making new content. So to strike now, when the industry is at its weakest, to a certain extent, I think Iger's right in that it's a really bad time to do this because you're really going to hurt the industry. What's going to happen here is they'll resolve this strike, obviously, at some point in time. But how many people are going to be out of a job because you're going to have studios that are cutting budgets back because of the losses they're already incurring, plus the losses that they're incurring because of the strike? So you may see as much, I've seen speculation up to a 30% cut in the workforce in the industry. Is that really the union benefiting its employees at that point in time? Where, okay, you can get your 20% raise, but you're out of a job now. Good luck finding a job at that rate.
Yeah.
So it's a double-edged sword. And then finally, the third one they're complaining about is AI. Now, AI, there's a couple of different aspects of AI. One is the writing. You can go out and have some AI system write a script for you. The AI that's out there today isn't good enough to write a Hollywood script.
Right.
Because all it does is it parrots what's out there already.
Right.
So you're not going to, it's good to help supplement or to start or whatever. It's not going to replace writers.
Right.
So that's an irrational fear right now. The other fear is deep fakes.
Right.
Where you've got industries where you can produce somebody else's likeness. Well, there's already laws for that. You don't need to have something in your contract. If somebody uses your likeness, like you can't make Indiana Jones without Harrison Ford.
Right.
You can digitally reproduce them, and they did. They de-aged him and they digitally reproduced them. But if they did that without Harrison Ford's permission and involvement, he would have sued them.
Well, and I think that's what a lot of these background actors are concerned about who are on that bottom level, is that they're going to go in and do something and there's going to be something in the contract saying, oh, we now own your likeness, and it's going to be, hidden somewhere.
And then they can still do that. There's nothing that says they can't do that. So you need to have an agent that's going to read your contract for you.
That's the thing, is that they're trying to protect, to make sure that's not something that's added on because it's now so easy to do.
But that's not something you can expect to use as a bargaining chip in a negotiation for a strike. That's something that's a negotiating point when you negotiate your contract. So make sure that your agent and your lawyer know how to read a contract.
Right.
So I'm kind of hesitant on giving them credit for that one here, but salary-wise, I'll totally give you that. Streaming, we covered what was the one with her studio where Disney didn't want to pay her?
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson,
That
yes.
was the kind of the start of everything.
Right. So Disney basically engaged in a contract with her that said they'd pay her a certain percent for ticket sales at the box office.
Right.
Then the pandemic hit, and they released it streaming.
Right.
And they said, but we don't have an agreement on streaming. And they pretended as though they could just do whatever they wanted with it at that point in time.
Right.
When in reality, you didn't have an agreement for streaming. So you legally have no rights to stream it. It's not that you don't have to pay me for it.
Right.
So they wound up settling that out of court, though. But that's another, instance of how streaming, it's so new that the industry doesn't, it's falling over itself now to try to figure out what to do with it.
Right.
So anyway, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about Disney's fire sale. We'll be right back. For over 7 years, the Second Sith Empire has been the premier community guild in the online game Star Wars: The Old Republic. With hundreds of friendly and helpful active members, a weekly schedule of nightly events, annual guild meet and greets, and an active community both on the web and on Discord. The Second Sith Empire is more than your typical gaming group. We're family.